Hi everyone, Soldier17. Let me first say usual now in these pictures, not paid video. Alright, okay, so, quick thing. I'm going to make, or have made, something that I've been trying to work on for a while. And I'm just gonna probably upload it tonight. Maybe. It depends. So, in a sense, it's an old video, and it's from 3 months ago. Well, not old. Old thumbnail I made 3 months ago that I could not think of how to get where I wanted some things to happen until I thought of, thought of everything. Not the whole entire series in general, just some things. You'll find out when the video's uploaded. But anyways, so this is What If Naruto Had the Outsider Mark, Part 4. So, let's get through it after I just give this quick explanation. You see, I'm making one person here in this video that is higher up than the Hokage himself, and who's been a constant thorn in some people's backs in Konoha that's on the council. The Fire Daimyo. The Fire Daimyo is kind of an important person in the story. So let's just go through it. So yeah. Anyways, so we have Naruto waking up after his night of cleaning the house out of a certain businessman's place and getting his books. Stealing and selling what he gained from it. And basically him having a smirk. He's like, I can't wait till that stingy market guy wake up and realize, oh no, something happened. I was robbed. Just wait till he gets arrested. It's gonna be hilarious. So, Naruto goes, and he's so used to his fridge and covers being always filled that he never even realized he's almost always out of food. He just got used to it at this point. So in a sense, he makes his breakfast, and then after eating, he basically goes for, he basically starts to read, basically, for at least an hour. Sasuke basically, Naruto knows he's gonna get Sasuke being trained by Kakashi in canon by himself. So in a sense, though, he basically does go, to the hospital to go see Kakashi. So in a sense, Naruto's like, Kakashi-sensei, look, I already know what you're gonna say, and no, I'm not asking here for training, I'm just gonna and Kakashi's like, wait, why? He's like, huh? I thought you were gonna go train the Tem by himself with you. He's like, yeah, I mean, I was thinking about doing that, but I decided not to. Which, Naruto's just kind of looking at him as like, okay, what the heck? He's like, look, I'm not going to train one of my students without training the other. But, what's your thoughts? He was like, well, I mean, you don't want the council, the civilian council, to be on your, tail all the time. They probably are basically hounding you for not just focusing on Sasuke. Even though Sakura basically lost to Ino, it was just because she got a quick attack in because of her basically family's technique, and she was able to attack due to that, though. Which, just saying this, when Ino basically came back to her body, she didn't question how Sakura was able to basically force her out. She threw a kunai right away, Sakura dodged, but then Ino came in with just using chakra, some of her chakra, and hit Sakura in the face, but then Sakura hit back, and then she threw another punch, and that's how I got the double knockout. Sakura almost won, though, so, But anyways, though, so Kakashi does nod. He's like, true. Well, what's your thoughts, though? He's like, well, because I don't want, you to get in trouble with the civilian council, just train the Tem. I'll do my normal thing. I'll find someone, maybe. Who knows? So, don't worry about me, Kakashi-sensei. I got my shadow clones and got the library to go to. Which Kakashi's like, wait, Naruto. before I leave, I'll leave you a couple scrolls that I got from some of my, well, fellow Jonins. Alright? They're based on wind control. It's like, cool. Hey, do you also have any jutsus on higher level elemental? Basically, water elemental, basically, chakra control? He goes, huh? Why? He was like, oh, well, I'm having trouble with the hit and miss jutsu, and I want to try to basically create a way not to use any water source, but I can just make it out of thin air. Which Kakashi's eyes wide. He was like, wait, how do you know that? He goes, well, I mean, to be honest, I found this weird scroll in the library on the Genin side, and it somehow said this is basically from the Hidden Mist village, and it was like the Hidden Mist jutsu. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense to basically find in the library. The chakra doesn't really take that much, as it seemed like to me when I keep on trying to use it. Which Kakashi's like blinking. He's like, I'm not gonna question him. He may have improved his intelligence, but still, he is Naruto after all. So he just sighs and be like, did you tell someone about this? He just nods and he said they misplaced it. Someone must have misplaced it and left it there. Which Kakashi decides again to be like, okay then, that's good. Alright, you can ask the Hokage for that. And which Naruto's like, sighs. He's like, yeah, that's true. Well, got any other ways for me to help with my chakra control? He basically tells him about actually, basically by the lipstick and exercise, he doesn't have to use a leaf. He can use like pebbles or rocks and stuff that's heavier. And he basically tells him by the kunai balancing and the zenbon, basically zenbon balancing. And that he can even use different ways of water walking, like he can try to run up a river. I mean, run on the stream of a river or such, or even a waterfall. Which Naruto is like, okay. Which Naruto's thinking to himself, wow, I literally didn't know that you can actually do stuff like that with chakra control exercises. Very inventive. Maybe I should actually invent my own way of doing it. Then he thinks about it, he doesn't, gives it a little, basically, nod in his head, so. Yeah, anyways, though. So in a sense, Naruto basically kind of goes to not goes to the Hokage yet. He basically goes to a training ground, and basically he makes about, I want to say, 775 clones. And basically he tells each one what to do. At least 10 of them are going to be sparring with him. The rest, a good 200 of them are going to use chakra control on the kunai and the zenbon balancing. Basically, with at least basically another 100 just doing water walk. Well, out of that 150 are going to use water walking. The other 50 are going to do tree walking. The other ones are going to basically be trying to do jutsus. And then I would say the rest of them, well, he would say to actually try to keep on learning some, go to the library, or try to find anything based off of sealing, basically seals, basically. Sealing jutsus, basically, so we can try to make some of our own seals. Which, basically, they nod. So yeah, that's what happens. Basically, after the 10 clones, about an hour and 30 minutes, he basically was able to dispel them. And then he basically, asked for the fox for a little bit, like if he can help, or at least tell him the hand signs of some jutsus of wind. Which he basically tells him the Gale Palm, the basically Great Breakthrough, and the only other one he would know is basically Wind Bullet, which Naruto was not able to get. I mean, was able to basically expel a lot of chakra with Wind Bullet, but a lot of chakra was wasted. So, in a sense, he basically makes a clone, dispels it. It's the clones that basically were doing jutsus. He would just say, try to have at least 3 people to try to work on those jutsus alone, which they not. Naruto does go back into the village, though. He basically says, alright, I should probably try to figure out which next target I'm gonna go to. This one, I mean, he basically kind of remembers, like, the other two files. Because one of them technically is another civilian, but it's not that he wants me to actually, you know, do anything to him. He wants me to follow him for some weird reason. Why do I have a sneaky suspicion that this is going to be very bad? Kurama hearing this doesn't, kind of understand what he means. Basically, Naruto, though, while he was basically coming back to pay attention, he basically notices the person that basically was on a, he noticed the person that was on the scroll. Naruto be like, oh wait, I don't have them with me. Or have it with me. So he makes a shadow clone, tells it to go back to his apartment real quick and grab something, which he nods, and basically Naruto does follow the guy that he thinks it is, and, well, what happens is simple. When the shadow clone comes back, he says thanks, it dispels. He opens up the scroll and reads it real quick, and, well, it just says to follow this man to find where basically his business is, because there's something that you will need to know. And so, what happens is simple. When he sees the picture of the face, and then the guy when it's on the rooftops, yeah, he follows. It doesn't take him that long to even find the guy's business, but the business looks normal-ish. So, he basically hedge and goes into the store, and he basically sees the guy just like greeting basically his employees and then the customers. But then, he basically looks around. He does not. Naruto's basically head on one side, basically pretending he was like looking at like some of the items on the shelf, and the guy basically goes in the back, which, well, in a sense, Naruto also takes a quick glance. No one looks, and he basically follows. And right when he opens up the door, he sees basically the guy pull a lever that, well, not a lever, I mean push on the wall as a secret, basically, door opens. And the guy basically grins. So, when Naruto wonders what's that, he activates, Shadow Silence, and goes into it before he even closes. Following the guy, basically. And what Naruto finds out is that there is something underneath Konoha that Naruto was like shocked, which even Kurama. But he does remember from Kushina, at least one of the things he paid attention to her Minato, is that the Minato said that he found a secret city underneath Konoha. It seems like an organization. It seems like all these different bunkers that are underneath Konoha were old root bases that the civilian help ask Danzo if they can use to make a little area. So, this merchant technically, this merchant it's basically the store owner, but yeah, secret patches. But, so, Naruto basically follows the guy, and he basically found a sneaky suspicion that was rising up that this guy, even though basically it's not a very good person, and greedy like every civilian council. So what he basically finds out is that the guy had another store underneath basically Konoha, and he basically sees like a different village headband on the guy who's waiting outside the store. He was like, "It took you long enough." So, got any information that I asked for? Which he goes, "Sorry, I know you paid a lot of money for this information. It's harder to take on since one of my colleagues got on the Hokage's bad side somehow. He was arrested this morning. I had to be careful. I couldn't snoop around and get any more information I could from some of the guys I have in the archives." Which he goes, "What? I thought you said..." He goes like, I know, but I did get a little bit on that Uzumaki brat. Why are you so interested in him?" Which goes, That's for me to know. So, can you basically put on the scroll before you burn the papers real quick and give it to me? He's like, yeah, sure, sure. He's like, thanks. So, basically, Naruto knows the headband is from the Rock Village. Basically, the people who basically Minato killed with his Haracian, that they hate him. They basically hate him for what he did to the people from their ninja forces and are afraid of him. I think it was. I just call them Rock Ninjas. I forgot their name, but yeah. But basically, the guys just looking straight forward. Naruto seeing him, and Naruto's thinking, "Wait, is he seeing me? No, he can't." So, all of a sudden, though, the ninja kind of make a little glance over to the side and just starts walking. Naruto follows because, in a sense, he he doesn't know what this guy is gonna do. So Naruto basically followed him on the other side of the building, and well, a kunai nearly hits Naruto, just missed him. He goes, "Huh, I thought there was someone there. Wow, guess I'm getting paranoid." But man, that kid that kid is Naruto. Well, that kid Naruto Uzumaki is actually Namikaze, Minato's kid. Oh man, that Kage's gonna want his death. Maybe. He doesn't really seem that mad towards the ninja sword the man. The rest of the villagers will actually want him dead. At least I'm trying to cover my base before I report to the village. But why is that council member council member Haruno basically told me to not take any of this information. But that I'm just gonna say one of the other civilian name and making up is like Tatsu. Like he says, why did that other civilian on the council members Tatsu of the bank wants him dead so badly? Well, at least I took her advice and just trying to look into it. I mean, it's a win-win situation. The brat's parents' place was guarded by ninjas, and I mean, he probably has an inheritance that that greedy jerk wants so much of. Which Naruto's eyes widen towards that. So the guy walks past him. But Naruto, yeah. So what happens though is very simple though. When Naruto basically was about to leave though, he basically looks around the whole entire place, and he goes through, and he sees the darker parts of Konoha, sort of. Basically, this is a secret place no one knows about, but this is like ninjas' actual like headquarters. But ninjas, well, hold up. Alright, as I was saying, I was trying to explain. This is basically for ninjas that are like assassins. That take bounty hunters and such. That the normal ninjas wouldn't really like to have any information on. Heck, these people actually even are traitors to their own village. Like, some Konoha ninjas actually come down and actually sell the information for more money. Or just to get payback because of someone that wrecked their lives. So yeah. So in a sense, though, Naruto sees a lot of shady things that happen. Like, heck, even some people that he heard on the streets that were missing that was there. Which surprises Naruto. But the one thing that mostly surprises Naruto is that he basically sees someone he knew from basically one of Sasuke's fangirls that were basically trapped in a building, which Naruto's eyes widen. Basically, they're like on display, which Naruto's like, what the? Which Kurama's like, kid, I don't know what you're thinking, but you know what? Who cares? Go wild. Which Naruto has an evil grin, but before that though, for some weird reason, he feels something off, so he takes out the heart, and he literally sent, like, can tell there's like at least a couple of rune scrolls and talismans here. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be busy. So he kind of makes a mental note to actually come back for her before he leaves. So yeah, so Naruto basically goes around the whole entire freaking place. It's bigger, it's like the same size of Konoha. At least half of it, at least. And he finds the places. He basically takes what he wanted. Heck, he actually even finds some actual freaking, I would say, Zenbond and poisons with instructions on it. Yeah, he's taken a lot of stuff that he would need. Heck, even basically filling up a little pouch, like 2 little pouches worth of stuff that like could sell pretty good. So yeah, is this run by the Yakuza that Naruto knows of, like Hizashi and Yuki? No, no. This is technically they go here, but it's more like they don't run anything besides one building down there, and it's basically a weapon shop. So yeah, so Naruto basically did all that. The guy basically from the Rock Village got his info and left. Basically, the guy's still in his building, smirking away. And well, Naruto basically says, it said to kill or not to kill. It was his choice on the scroll. But what he does is very simple. He basically looks at the Roman scrolls, and just a few of them are, well, basically, 2 of them are upgrade ones. He basically got like 4 in total. Only 2 are upgrades. So, in a sense, though, the next, well, like I said, he has 4 power up scrolls and 2 upgrade scrolls. So in total, he had 7. Well, actually, no, 6. So, and by the way, talismans, he only has about maybe 5. Basically, 2 of them are for basically tougher defense, basically tougher skin. And the next 2 are basically strength, and 1 is for, well, reflex. So, better reflex. So basically, the powers. He gets possession, he gets... Wait, I think I gave him bend time. No, I didn't. That was something else I did. Okay, so basically then, he gets possession, bend time, wind blast, and I want to say shadow walk. And for each one of those, he's gonna have to wait. But basically, possession, it's just possession. There's really nothing else. So that doesn't mean nothing. Because it's like, I'm not gonna say there's a durability time. Naruto can handle as much as his void power, his magic can handle. So it won't consume a lot. Well, it will consume a lot, but he'll get talismans to upgrade that on itself. Bend time, though, needs an upgrade to basically allow him to do certain things, to use his other power with it, or to basically allows him to basically move objects and such, or do something. To make it longer, too, the Wind Blast, well, I mean, it just will break, as much magic he puts in it, it will break something down, so that's a good thing. Then the Shadow Walk allows him to basically turns into a shadow creature or surrounded by shadows, and, well, move faster, as running, and then he basically can knock out people that will probably need an upgrade or so. But, in a sense, I don't think it would. But the way I see it is like, if he basically kills an enemy, they would turn into nothing but shadows and disappear. So, in a sense, yeah, that's all I see it. Doing plus, if it was like another upgrade, we can say it basically allows him to go through like rat tunnels. something small that he can't normally go through. So yeah. So basically, Naruto has had the heart out, and basically Kushina does say this man technically is vile to the core. He's basically sold information on so many ninjas that the death of them are on basically were only people from the clans. He only sees value in ninjas as tools and cannon fire and money makers. Heck, he actually would even sell off Konoichis after some time with them for money. Or depending on who they are, he'll basically keep them as his own little puppets. Which, yeah, basically, yeah, if you guys are just thinking probably exactly the same thing I would say, but it's like another thing. He basically has also sabotaged multiple people, framed multiple people for his own misdeeds, just so he'll rise up in the ranks. He's also willing to even betray the Hokage for money. He has basically gave information to Orochimaru for a few products he can use on people. Which Naruto just yeah. It's a good thing I always carry over with me my weapon. So in a sense, mask on, hair black, hood on, weapon out. Basically, he goes for the side and finds that window open. He climbs through. The guy's basically counting his money. He's like, oh, so much money I can get for just giving a few tidbits of information on that Uzumaki brat. And I almost figure out how a way to get that Uzumaki Namikaze, former Hokage, basically home open. And all the scrolls and money I can get out of them. Which, well, he feels a sword go through him while his mouth is being covered. And all he hears is this: never in your dreams, scumbag. And literally rips out the sword and cuts off his head. So, luckily for Naruto, none of the blood basically got on papers that he was looking at. He was only going looking at a bag of coin near the side that does got a little blood on it and just sighs. So he basically looks at the place and he's like, huh, there could be some good information here. So in a sense, Naruto does go through the place, and he basically found 5 stored scrolls. And basically and they already have a massive amount of storage, it already has the seals on it. And Naruto already understands. These actually can hold of a lot of items in it. So in one scroll he puts the papers in. Then he takes the guy's money. But he takes, basically by papers I mean documents, everything. He basically takes. Well, next, what he does with the other 3 scrolls, very simple. He's just going to keep them. And also kind of study the basically storage scroll Fyoun Jutsu that seals to try to get a better understanding so that way he can create his own. So what happens is very simple. He goes back to the place of the civilian kid that was one of Sasuke's fan girls. It immediately possessed someone. Basically a guard that was there unlocking the door and telling the girl Tan, not Tan, Lise, to come out. You've been sold already. She's like, no, I know my parents sold me, but please, let me go back home. And he's like, no, we got good money for you, so come on. Naruto pretending. So he leads her out into the alleyway. Then she's like, huh? Wait, what's going? All of a sudden, the guy gasped and immediately neck cracked. Which, she turns around and sees the guy in the mask. She's about to scream, but then Naruto puts his hand over her mouth, takes down the hood, takes off the mask, and she can see him. Her eyes widen in shock, but he has that kind smile on on his face. She just crying, and with the chains around her, arm, wrist, she basically somehow, puts him over and hugging him. Naruto, pats her, pats her, in a gentle and caring way, which she's happy to get after this time. So Naruto does something. He basically just does. Put back on the mask, puts back on the hood, use Shadow Silence, both of them disappear, and they leave. He basically also used, kind of would have, if you really think about, would have gotten some details on the place from the boss's office, on the people that he sold in the past to people from different villages or higher ups, basically. People that are rich. So, in a sense, yeah, Naruto gets out of there for the exact same way and immediately goes to the Hokage's office. Wait, hold up. Alright, so because Naruto went to the Hokage's office, still using Shadow Silence, and Elise basically is, crying in Naruto's basically chest, he does not deactivate it. He basically barges right in, and then heck, he basically jumps, kicks it when it opens, land, turn around, kicked it, closed, and literally Anbu are there. Naruto deactivates Shadow Silence, and basically Hiruzen will recognize the girl from the Ninja Academy, which he's like, stand down! He has a hostage! As Naruto just sighs, really, Hokage-sama? Which is like, wait, what? Naruto then takes off the mask after he takes down the hood, as his hair is changing back from black to golden. Which Hiruzen's like, Naruto! How did you... He goes, listen here, Hokages. I got some information that you're gonna really love. So, can you at least get your Anbu out of here? Which, Hiruzen can see Naruto basically's eyes as like, telling the truth. So, in a sense though, yeah, Hiruzen even puts a silencing seal or array as it just, goes throughout the whole entire room as it glows blue. As Naruto tells Elise, basically, he's gonna put her down and try to break the chains. Which she does not. So he puts her on the couch, immediately takes out his sword, and somehow, basically, he thinks he can add some chakra to the blade. He then breaks the chains that were around her wrists. And no, she's basically saying thank you. Basically, he just nods. He then looks at his basically Hiruzen, who was basically his GG at one point. He just sighs and basically throws him a scroll. He's like, huh? What's this? He goes like, well, I got some rats in the archives. Also, and he looks at the picture of Minato Namikaze and he goes like, huh, I wonder, how is it that me and the fourth Hokage look so similar? Which Hiruzen's looking at Naruto. He goes, what do you mean? He was like, oh, I overheard where I got that information from, and, well, it's so weird. As Naruto basically just jumps and basically takes it off of the little nail that was hanging off of. And he basically is looking at it and turns around and shows the third Hokage, which Liz also sees, as they can see they look the same almost. He goes like, if I take away the whisker marks, get rid of some of my baby fat, I look just like him, wouldn't I? If I even let my hair grow out a little bit longer. Which Hiruzen's like, Naruto, what do you... As Liz just, you're right. He was, yeah, it's like I'm its son. Ain't that right, Hiruzen, said Toby. which Horizon's like, wait, he knows? No, it can't be. He can't just figure out by that one saying. And he goes, so, he basically puts back the picture, the picture frame on the little nail that was hanging off. He was like, are you gonna come clean now? Or am I still gonna have to basically never really talk to you much? Which he's like, QB told me. He's like, wait, QB? When? He's like, doesn't even matter. Hold up. Alright, so, basically, Arun just sighs and be like, Naruto, he was like, I get it. It was for my own safety from people inside and outside. But here's the thing. Don't you think I had the right to know things? It's like, I don't know, it's like you basically hidden something from your own grandson or your own son. Heck, even your own, child hiding something from you. And you basically think you're doing the right thing. Yeah, maybe doing the right thing for the village, and basically for me, but when I basically proved that I basically was ready to, you should have told me it. Which hurts inside, but it's like, but to be fair, you were allowed and would have probably tried to get the. Which Naruto's like, I don't care about the villagers' approval. Which I kind of, Horizon's like, wait, what? What do you mean? He's like, okay, in the past, when I was maybe 6 and 7, yeah, I wanted to get their approval to acknowledge me. But you know what? After I was 9 years old, maybe 8.5, I decided I don't care. I don't care if they acknowledge me or not. I honestly don't care one bit. So I put a mask up, making everyone assume that I was a loudmouth idiot, and yet I wasn't. I played everyone to my advantage. Basically make everyone think I was an idiot, where I basically hid my abilities, or should I say, my intelligence, to actually understand. If not, then I would have got beat up more by said villagers. Which Hiruzen kind of is shocked that Naruto played people. Including, to believe he was, like, weak and an idiot, even himself. Which Liz is also kind of like, He goes, sorry about that, Liz. But I mean, to be fair, though, did you think I was a loudmouth idiot? She goes, yes. Especially how you think you're better than Sasuke, which Naruto kind of just snorts. He's like, please. The Tem isn't even that strong. He's only strong because of, he trains his body and mind too much. Heck, half the times he actually pushes past his limits is a good thing, but overdoing it is not going to help. Besides, I already beat Sasuke already. Which her eyes widened. She goes, when? He was like, how long have you been down there underneath Konoha? She goes, a month before the Chunin exams. Which Naruto's eyes widened. He was like, darn. Which her was like, wait, what? He was like, oh, yeah, here. He basically froze the scroll, basically that was from the guy's office, of all the papers. He's like, yeah, there's a secret city underneath Konoha, at least half the size of it, I estimate. And, I mean, the guy was selling off information to other villagers, like, other village. One came from here for a rock, asking about me, so... yeah. Which, Haru's eyes widen. And he's like, but anyways, though, I basically viewed it. I mean, the ninja life ain't that great as I thought. Which Liz nods. He was like, she's like, oh wow. It's like, kind of like bandits were there, but mostly ninjas. They were selling things that normal ninjas from in stores can't get from other villagers. Heck, even secret information. Even some people who basically were just hiring people to do more secret work were down there, like assassination attempts. Which which Haruzen's eyes widened. He was like, "And you?" He was, "Yeah, I went down there. Oh crap! I had to go visit Higurashi. Gotta ask him about my crossbow I haven't used yet." And he basically mumbles that to himself, which Haruzen just kind of like doesn't pay attention. But he's like, "But anyway, still, how did you find Liz?" He was like, "Oh, I found her in a kind of a window in a cage sort of thing, and I basically took her and saved her. So, yeah. In a sense, Haruzen just like, you got through there undetected. Yep. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Liz, since your parents did sell you off, because let me guess, since you couldn't get through Chiha's heart, they thought of no use for you. She kind of just looks down in shame, and Naruto just sighs, be like, "Well, I'm gonna be going visiting my parents' home, and I'm gonna start moving some stuff into it, slowly but surely. I got enough money right here to put up a scroll for myself." So, I basically can, have at least another person in the place. Which Haruzen, but Naruto, he's like, and he literally just kind of looks at him with a non-caring look. He's like, "Please, you denied me enough already, Haruzen Sarutobi. It's enough. Enough is enough." So, yeah. The seal's deactivated. Naruto leaves. Haruzen just looks so much in shame. And Liz just seeing Naruto be like, he's changed so much. He's a lot nicer than Sasuke. So, yeah. So, Naruto goes back home. Real quick. He basically gets the crossbow, goes to Higurashi, which Tenten's there. Sort of. She's just leaving. She's like, "Oh, you." He's like, "Yeah, Tenten, right?" She goes, "Yeah." It's like, "Sup? So, how is everything with you?" It's good. You? Been training. Just came by to get something. Like, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna go and train too, so see ya." So she basically leaves. Naruto just, walks in. He goes, "Higurashi, I'm back." "Naruto, you here for something or request of something?" He goes, "Yeah." He basically shows him the crossbow. He's like, "Can you work a seal on this to basically have some, well, if you could basically get like regular arrows in here, heck, even reload?" He's like, heck, I can probably even, actually, I do know a few people that actually came out with a sleeping agent that as soon as it hits them, the arrow and the, besides the agent would disappear." He's like, so basically puts them to sleep. He's like, "Uh-huh." He's like, "I actually like that. Can you make some of that?" He's like, "Yeah. I mean, you have to come by and I have a couple of them already stocked in. They're only used by some of the members of the Yakuza." Like, he was like, "Yeah. Man, though, this is kind of really amazing." He's like, "You're a unique kid. So how much it's gonna cost?" He's like, about 12,000 Rio, which Naruto throws up. Well, Naruto takes out the money and gives him it. He says, "It'll take me a few minutes. Anything else you want me to do? Make it rapid fire if I need it? I can do a quick succession." He's like, "Gotcha." So, he asks how long? He's like, "An hour or two." It's like, great. So Naruto does something. He goes back home. He basically uses the other 3 scrolls and puts everything in his apartment, including his food. Like, he's halfway. I mean, he's gonna put this food in one of them. And when he's halfway there, he's like, "Wait, I have to go see if I actually get into place first." So, he basically hedges into a civilian look, civilian like, and asks another person that they knew about where the fourth Hokage's place was. Which they tell him, and yeah, he gets there in an hour. And he basically has enough understanding of seals that there's a plaque there with a seal that says Namikaze home. to notice the few things that it's a blood seal. So Naruto basically bites his finger, puts it on, and he hears that click. He opens it and goes in, basically, even put a blood, even using the same thing. Well, not finger, but I mean, puts his hand on the door as it takes a little bit of his chakra and it opens. And when he walks in, basically, he sees the place. He somehow does not. He basically somehow thinks there's gonna be no power, but when he flicks on the switch, there's power. So he runs over to the fridge. Yeah, there was no food. So Naruto's like, huh, I guess the old monkey did came over here and take the food out of the place before anything happened after they're dead. So, he basically closes the fridge up, goes, uses chakra to lock it, goes back and uses blood, on the seal, but then it takes chakra to lock it, and then basically goes back to his apartment. Gets everything that, like I said, food, stuff, and gets to his parents' home. Yeah. No one knows this. So, in a sense, after that, he basically moved in, gets his crossbow from Higurashi, puts it in, Higurashi actually gives him basically a seal put on his arm for it, and then he leaves. Basically. And after that, though, he goes back to the Hokage Hokage Tower. Liz is still there talking to Hokage, telling her about what happened getting near her end of her story, how she even got there. Naruto's like, Liz, you done? She's like, yeah, Naruto. He was like, I moved in. Got enough space for you. I mean, your parents basically probably left the village. So, as she basically, hold up. Okay, so basically Naruto says, anyways though, I mean, you can basically come with me. I don't really mind. She's like, you sure? He just nods. She basically runs up and hugs him, and she goes, basically just saying thank you, and he just chuckles. It was also, Hokage-sama, why don't you use cage bunchins? He's like, huh? Yeah, why don't you use cage bunchins? They take the knowledge of what you learn and give it back to you. Could help with your paperwork. Hiruzen just realizing it, takes out something from his desk, and basically says, when you figure out how to defeat paperwork, bang your head against here. And then he goes, idiot, idiot, idiot. Which Naruto has this little sweat drop, along with Liz, as he just says, let's go. She just nods. So, he basically activates Cage Bunchin, and a few of them do the paperwork, while two of them are actually going to be looking at the information that Naruto give him, and about this secret area that's underneath the village. Yeah, Anbu can have a lot of fun. So, let's just say this. It's been about, so we're gonna do a little bit of a time skip where it is the middle of the month. Liz and Naruto got to know each other. She considers him like a brother. He considers her like a sister. He's also learned a few of his parents' style of jutsus, and well, his chakra control has gone up a lot. They did actually have the techniques Naruto wanted to know about doing water manipulation, and well, he basically got pretty far in it. Even a lot of wind jutsus, along with some lightning, earth, and fire. So, during this day, the daimyo came in, and well, let's just say this: he was not really happy. You see, he knows these two people have been following him ever since he entered Konoha, and he knows it's not Hiruzen's Anbu. Because, well, the samurais are here, and they were informed ahead of time not to follow the daimyo. The only one who will be bold enough to is Danzo. But since it's not him, as he can sense, he knows they are different. And he just thinks to himself, Danzo, you never change, do you, you old warhawk? you guys are wondering, isn't the daimyo in Naruto supposed to be, you know, different, than this? He goes like, and I'm saying yes. But in this case, I'm making him be more of a warrior when needed. And so, in a sense, though, Naruto's walking, down the street, and he notices the samurai and the daimyo, basically. And Naruto's like, sir, do you need some help, I guess, I would say? Which, one of the samurai warriors about to say something to Naruto, but the fire daimyo stops, and he's like, boy, what is your name? He goes, Naruto Uzumaki, sir. Yours? He was like, well, I'm the fire daimyo, which Naruto realized, and then he basically bows to him and was like, I'm so sorry, this is the first time I've ever met you. Which he kind of chuckles, he goes, don't worry about it. Basically, the fire daimyo knows this chakra spike increase, despite seeing Naruto. In which he basically gives a sign to his samurais to go somewhere else. But in actuality, they know that look in his eye and they nod. So, they go and they're hidden in plain sight, you could say. But no, they just go somewhere, but being far away, but somehow being also close. So, he goes, so, Uzumaki, may I ask a question? He was like, yes, sir. Do you know your parents? He was like, no, I, don't. No, I decided not to tell anyone if he knows his parents or not. So, in a sense, yeah. The daimyo goes like, oh, really? I can already tell you're lying, though. Which Naruto's eyes wanted. He's like, will you? Which she was like, and tell him by your chakra signature. He closes his eyes a little bit, and he goes, I understand now. So you are who Hiruzen has always talked about. Which, he goes, you mean the old monkey? He's like, he used to say you called him Gigi. He was after he... In which the daimyo understands, he nods. Betrayal is from someone you thought we considered to be a grandfather figure is hard. But if you understand he done it for the right reason, if I cannot accept it, that is also understandable. He lied to you your whole entire life, I assume. Which he nods, and the fire daimyo sensing the two ninjas are approaching slowly and cautiously, which, well, let's just say this. In a blink of an eye, two bodies appear, basically out of using the chameleon jutsu, falling down with their heads gone, but then they rolled with the white mask appearing on them, which Naruto's like, what the? He goes, Tobarama Sensei's always still come in handy. Which is, wait, you know the second Hokage? He goes, me and Hiruzen go way back. But yes, I do know the second Hokage was one of his students, but only because my father asked him to, since my sensing ability was very high. Which Naruto's eyes widened. He was like, you're a censor? He goes, yes. Naruto does not know if he has the talent for it, but he's like, can you show me how to? He's like, of course I can. I mean, those monkeys are really good censors, and they're a well-respected clan. Do you know about any Fuin Jutsu? Or seals? Which Naruto was like, I'm kind of learning that right now. He goes, really? At the moment? He goes, shadow clones? Which he does, eyes wide, but then nods. He was like, what level were you when you started? He was like, well, intermediate. I basically only, from last night after I woke up, I was only up to get to 3rd level. The rest of the clones, basically while he's in the middle of talking, a few, 20 clones basically, do bursts at once, burst, and he was like, correction, I know up to level 6 level seals. Which he says, impressive. Yep. So, Daimyo-sama, can you, tell me why you also have that weird look, like the same thing as Hiruzen when he basically found he he can get rid of something that he's been having trouble with for a long time. He's like, oh, if you notice, simple. I have, well, an old heart to get rid of. He's been a thorn in my side for a very long time. Even has many different treasons acts against me, but I let it slide since he was very still useful. But now he has gone and be too much of a problem, especially in this past coming years. And I believe it's all because of you, Uzumaki. Which Naruto kind of chuckles a little bit. Anyways, let us go. He's like, wait, us? He goes, yes, you're coming with me. I basically had one of my samurais are basically close, but they also sent a message for an emergency council meeting, which Naruto's eyes widen. So, along the way, the daimyo talks to Naruto. He also tells him about how he was close to his father, since they were friends. Even though he was not in office that long, he knew him when he was in Anbu, which Naruto was in shock. Which he nods, he says, especially your mother. She was very much of a firecracker. Always quick to temper. It was always funny when Minato got punched through a wall. Which Naruto chuckles at that. So, yeah. Naruto basically goes to the council meeting. They are shocked to see him with the fire daimyo. And immediately, the samurais literally kill two of Danzo's secret root ninjas that were following him. Which Danzo's like, what's going? As the daimyo basically then tells some Anbu to basically get him before anything more. Danzo's about to basically say something, but in a sense, he gets knocked out. Well, not knocked out, he gets captured. And basically a seal is put on him to prevent him from saying anything, which he basically is kind of thinking, what's going on? So, the fire daimyo was like, Hiruzen, why has Kushina and Minato's son basically was alive? And he did not tell me. Which he's like, fire daimyo, you couldn't tell me for security reasons. But he is the Jinchuriki. Am I correct? Which he nodded, like, and should have not have known. I did send word for, which he basically puts his hand up, and then, Hiruzen stops, which many of the other civilian and ninja councils are in shock, and he goes, I see. If you did send a message to me, that just means someone interfered in it. Because he knew I would have made different arrangements for the boy, to make him see as he gets proper training. Which Danzo's literally scared. And when she goes, so, you have multiple crimes, Danzo. Trying to use that Sharingan eye of yours to basically put a genjutsu over me, which was laughable. Which Danzo's thinking, how? This is Shinsui's eye. It goes, do you forget we were both, well, actually, you and the people on the council that were around the time of the Great Wars were trained by Tobirama Senju himself? Did you forget about me, Danzo? Which his eyes widen. And he goes, now then, knowing you probably did something for power, so, with a snap of a finger, one of Danzo's arm gets, well, cut off. And it's revealed to have Sharingan eyes in it. Heck, even his left eye gets cut, destroying Shinsui's eye, which Danzo screaming has, no, my plans! So, in a sense, the fire daimyo just sighs and saying he's disgusted, which he basically saying, Naruto, since he's the one who wrecked your life, and I'm also assuming, he's looking at the council members, that at least some of you went with Danzo and tried to make the boy here become a weapon of his and become only a husk of what he is. Ridiculing him, making sure he suffered for your losses. Because you couldn't get to the thing that actually destroyed your lives. Correct? which they, are swearing his gaze. And he basically just said, Naruto, Naruto nods. He basically is going up to Danzo. Danzo is looking at him with defiance in his eye. He goes, I never thought I actually would be, taking who I thought was basically just a one-eyed, no-arm man down. You probably, though, think you're, I don't know, above everyone. You basically deserve power. And you were trying to protect Konoha. Which Danzo's looking at him with anger. He was like, but in a sense, you weren't. I can just tell you that much. You almost led to Konoha's destruction. As he literally just takes out the blade, he has and shoves it into Danzo's basically neck, and just takes out, flicks the blood off, and it just pulls back into the blade, into the hilt, and he puts it on his side. Danzo just left there to die and bleed out, to basically be dead. Everyone is just shot by Naruto, just casually just doing this. So the fire daimyo just looking at Naruto just with a nod of approval. He goes, now then, Hiruzen, the boy's lineage, has it been told? He goes, no, for his safety. He goes like, I understand, but did you tell him, I mean, not the village? He goes, no. Safety. I see. Basically, he basically looks at the samurai. He's like, tell my samurais to do a full investigation along with my retainer. I mean, not my retainer. Basically, one of his people he has with him, his advisor, to go through the academy and Naruto's grades and papers and such. And to basically also give Naruto his family's bank account. His parents' money, his inheritance, which the man in the bank is like, no, do not give that demon brat that. And with just a quick motion of the hand, and then an Ambu came in and killed the guy, which everyone's just terrified. That's on the civilian. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. Do I look like I care? Especially after, well, my friend's son isn't the one you're talking about. Which, basically the civilians basically are just kind of worrying for their own lives, but they also want to protest that he's not Minato's son, but they can't. A lot of the Ninja Council just realizing he's Minato's son. We effed up. So yeah. So after that, Naruto gets his family's, his parents' basically inheritance in money wise, which was actually kind of shocking, but actually kind of happy for him. He also basically is gonna get teached, but he also meets Jiraiya late, because Jiraiya was doing his thing normally and didn't feel like he needed to, until he actually heard from Hiruzen what Naruto did. So he basically sees he's being with the fire daimyo on basically chakra, on sensing, which so why basically all this questions, blah blah blah, how did he become this way? But as soon as he found out he was his godfather, Naruto did something that Jiraiya was not suspecting in the middle of his talk. He kicked him somewhere, and he went on his knees, and with a high pitched voice, just, but like, why? He was like, that's for leaving me for 13 years. So yeah. So in a sense though, Anbu also found root bases, and a lot of them were captured. Most of them, like at least 50% of them were captured. The other 50 was killed. So Sai was was basically also captured. Anyways, though, Naruto learned a lot. He basically learned how to do the Rasengan. He also did what Outsider wanted him to do, which Outsider was pretty impressed that Naruto was actually able to get rid of a lot of the stuff that no, basically, he was told he needed to do without even knowing during that one mission. That one self-proclaimed mission he did and found that underground city underneath Konoha. And then with the fire daimyo and now root. Yeah, the only thing Naruto has to do is basically just go out in the world and just get more power. So, yeah, day of the Chunin exams, preliminary, fighting, Neji and his. Does Naruto know the Rasengan? Shadow clones come in handy. So, in a sense, yeah, he knows the Rasengan. But he cannot do it with one hand, though. Well, actually, he could do it in one hand with a lot of chakra control, but if he uses Kuroma's chakra, no. And he's a level 8 skill master now, so in a sense, yeah. Am I gonna go for the Neji fight? Not really, but I'm just saying it's a day of it. So, Naruto's stretching, and Kurama asks him, so, you think you're gonna win against that Neji guy? He's like, yeah. I mean, even though I vowed to basically get revenge for Hinata, what he did to her, I still don't get why she basically blushes at me. I was like, how dense are you? He's like, huh? Kid, she likes you. He's like, oh. Really? Wow. Huh. He's like, wait, why are you not happy? He's like, it's just weird. I mean, she never really comes to talk to me, and besides, I mean, anytime she looks at me, she blushes and just faints. I mean, wait, is that also the reason why I always kept on somewhat sensing someone watching me while I was training, when I was in a... Wait, so she knew about some of the things that went on in my life, and she didn't even... Which Kurama was like, oh, I guess that's... Yeah. Ouch, kid. He's like, you know what? It's a good thing I don't even like her. I only consider her a friend, but now that's kind of like, I have less of an opinion on her. Which, he's like, isn't that kind of hard? He goes, this is coming from the Nine-Tailed Fox himself. He goes, I know, but still. She's shy, she's timid. Heck, I can even sense on her that she does care about you a lot. Which Naruto goes like, I know it's cold to me, but it's like, she basically didn't even though she's been watching me, she came over and tried to talk to me and try to become my friend early, and literally, which Kurama does not. Well, mental nod, he agrees. But he says, but just, if she has stalked you and saw you suffer, I kind of get you're mad, but just remember, she's a Hyuga, and they're kind of strict, and he was like, yeah, I get it. But still, I mean, she did like me. She kind of lost her chance a long time ago, like the Haruno, which yeah. Surprisingly, her mom told that Rock Ninja to, leave you alone. Stop looking information on you. Yeah, I kind of wonder what's up with that, but who cares at the moment. So anyways, in order to basically see Liz, make breakfast for them, tell her that, he's gonna fight Neji, she basically will just be there, she nods. So yeah, so Naruto basically leaves, and on his way there, he basically does see Ino. He's like, Ino? And she goes like, Naruto, you're different. He goes, yeah, I mean, well, actually, no, I have the same type of clothing I have on always. Just, no, I mean, you're a little bit more muscular. It's like, oh, you can tell? She goes, have a keen eye for these things. He just looks at her with a deadpan look. He's like, you don't train. She's, seriously, why do you even like the emo? When she says, hey, Sasuke's not an emo. He's like, a person who basically only wants power, broods, has a mysterious vibe to him when he doesn't talk to no one, yet it's kind of obvious, which you can just find out anything about a few things about him. and yet all you girls like him. Then basically he ignores all of you, doesn't even acknowledge your resistance, and legit, and I mean legit, doesn't even care for someone in the village. And yet you think he's some type of Prince Charming. And she goes, well, at least it's better than, Kiba. She goes, yeah. He goes, at least Kiba will acknowledge you and protect you. Sasuke will just use you and let you die. Instead of try to save you. But she was like, no. He's like, okay, you know, I'm just done talking to you. Fangirls. So she gets mad, and for some reason, basically Kurama, when Naruto was back, he's basically gets a mental image from Kurama's mind about Kushina. He's like, oh crap. Which Kurama says, run kid! Which Naruto runs. Which Ino's keeping up with him somehow. It's like, what the heck? What's wrong with this girl? He was like, Naruto, why you didn't listen to your own self? He was like, I know. Never get Konoichi mad. But still, I thought Ino wouldn't be this way. Which, Kurama's like, and she looks just like your mom when she's mad. Which he looks back, he's like, oh crap, you're right. So, yeah. Naruto's running, and he gets to the freaking Coliseum. You know, gets in onto the actual area where basically they're gonna fight the arena, which basically Ino just gets to her seat, grumbling about a stupid blonde bakas. Which Sakure's like, Ino, you okay? She goes, yeah, just met up with Naruto. Basically, she kind of just tells her everything what he said about Sasuke, in which Sakura was gonna say something, but nothing happened. She goes, Sakura, you okay? He's like, he's kind of right though. Which, is like, what do you mean? She just sighs and says, I realize Sasuke doesn't really care about, me or anyone besides himself. So, I kind of may still be in love with him. I'm not gonna pursue him anymore than I need to. Which, Ino's kind of shocked, and yeah. She can tell Sakura put a lot of thought into it. So, in a sense, they have a little talk. Meanwhile, everything goes to canon. With basically them being there, Sasuke's not there. So it's basically Naruto and Neji. But that's where I'm going to end it. I'm not going to get into it before they actually go into the match. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a nice day, night, wherever you are, and bye.